Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and thanks to the fine folks at CommandStore.com, I am proud to bring to you what I can say is an early contender for Figure of the Year 2024. This is Legacy United Voyager Class Cybertron Universe Starscream. Now, let me just very quickly say, and as a little bit of an apology, I had initially put up a little poll on my page that was, and that speaking in a hypothetical, who would you like me to review first? Starscream or its wave mate Beast Wars Silverbolt? Well, it was close, but Silverbolt actually won. Unfortunately, another reviewer who I guess got the figure from Command Store or was able to find it on shelves internationally, uh, got a review in before I did of Silverbolt, and thus I had to do Starscream since I haven't seen anybody else review the figure. And unfortunately, the burden of being a smaller channel is the fact that I have to put priorities on what will be first reviews and what people will see first. And let me just quickly add, if you do like to see these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps with the channel. But also, and do that for other small YouTubers who, like myself, who do not take shortcuts in getting figures. Now, starting off, this is a very nice update to the Voyager class, or I think it was called a Voyager back then, Cybertron or Galaxy Force Starscream. If you were wondering why the Galaxy Force Starscream was going for so much money, and if you're like me and regret every day not importing that version, this was a fantastic figure. Good articulation. Well, the original toy, good articulation, and a non-obtrusive cyber key gimmick. Now, in the United States, we got the Supreme Class Starscream, King Starscream. And the reason, and because of that figure, we did not get the original version of Cybertron Starscream because Hasbro wanted to make sure the larger and more expensive figure sold. So we missed out. We did get the mold eventually repainted as Thrust in a Toys R Us 2-pack with a straight re-release of Voyager class Vector Prime. Um, this really is the figure we've been waiting um, all these years for. And yeah, I mean, I might have a few quibbles here and there with it, but this is fantastic. Now, we're starting out in the jet mode or spacecraft mode, and there's already a couple things you can do. Um, I have the weapon stored here. Basically, what you do is you can turn it upside down like this, and there are slots here that you can slide it in, and it will tab right there. If you would like a more attack style of uh, design, or just want to put the weapon somewhere else, come underneath, open up these panels, and this is one of my quibbles, and I'll show you in a minute. And again, using those slots on the weapon here and here, take it into the tabs right there, uh, just like that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to close these panels up, but you want to make sure they snap together. And because of how the legs and the arms come together, you might have to massage them just a little to get them to line up properly. But now you have the gun stored underneath. And if you so desire, you can flip out the blades. By the way, blast effect, blast effect, blast effect. And I think you can fit small blast effects on these guns here, but I would say I'm not sure. And maybe on these back thrusters. But yeah, just a great swoopable design. Also, removable cyber key. It doesn't do anything. It's not as detailed as it used to be, but it does have a Decepticon logo molded in, and you can store it right there. And you can transform the figure, which we're going to get into right now. For those of you playing along at home, I'm actually using that new tripod I mentioned. That's a very small, can fold up, very small, fit in your pocket. It's a modular design. So hopefully I've given us enough space. First thing you want to do is come underneath, and if you do have the weapon stored underneath here, go ahead and remove it. Unfortunately, by the way, it is not a spring-loaded missile launcher like the original. And also, if you have it stored up here, obviously remove it as well. Leave these panels open, and what you're going to do now is just separate the legs. And this is actually how the figure, for the most part, transformed originally. Uh, Rotate the side panels around like that. That just might help with a little clearance. And once you do that, you can go ahead and fold up the tips of the legs. And now what you want to do with the feet is go ahead and fold them up and make sure they sit flush like that. I think when you get them out of the packaging, they have a tendency, they're a little raised. So they might snap in place, they might not. So then once you do that, close up the panels, they'll peg in, bring the leg down, rotate it forward, down, forward. And here's a nice cool part. Come on the side of the foot here and unpeg and flip out that panel before some heels. Don't forget to fold that up when going into vehicle mode. Now, by the way, I do want to mention, unlike the Supreme class toy, these guns do not rotate up, but they were able to work in a waist joint. That's really cool. The next step is the big one. You want to grab this whole gray section here, fold it down. There's a tab right there and a slot right there. And this is actually going to snap very loudly and tightly into place. Once you have that done, come around the back here, separate these fins. And I do want to mention that these fins um, and the shoulder bits here all come detached in the packaging. When you attach these fins, you're going to probably do it down like this. You want to make sure that the undecorated hollow parts face out, because when it rotates up, that's how they're going to peg together. So rotate it down, or just peg it in if you've already removed it. Open up this back section here where the cyber key is. Careful not to pull on the cyber key, and that will give you enough clearance to then grab from this section, this little chunk right here, and rotate the head up into place. Now, there's a tab on the back of the uh, panel that the head sits on that will tab into that. We're almost done, believe it or not. So the next thing you want to do is unpeg the arms from the side here. There's a whole post. Do it on this side. And then what you can do is rotate the, now when you go to fold this up, there's actually, this arm is double jointed. You want to fold exclusively on that second joint. And here's another little quibble I have. I would have liked to have had a post or something that tabbed the forearm into the shoulder, just for a little extra security. That could just be me. So fold that section up and then bring the arm down like so. Straighten it out, bring it up here. It will tab into place. Bring the arm down. Now we're just about done. The next thing you want to do is open up these forearm panels here and then fold out, rotate out the fist, and then rotate the arm around at the bicep. Do it again here and rotate it at the bicep. Finally, these panels here, rotate them around. You can fold up the wings, do something with it. Usually, they're always been displayed as being out. So once you do that, there you go. You can now take the weapon. Uh, First, if you want to store it on the back, there is a tab right here by the grip, And what you're going to do is, depending on how you want the figure to hold it, you're going to use, there's two slots here. You're going to use the furthest slot because you want to make sure that post has clearance. So I usually have Starscream as a right-handed guy. So you're going to put you tab into that slot right there. But of course, the character can also hold the weapon. But what it can also do is if you remove the Cyber Planet key, there's a groove in the gun that will accept the Cyber Planet key. So now you have like a supercharged handgun. And of course, we have to flip out the clear purple Energon infused swords. And what's even better, and this is what they've shown in the preview pics, you can detach these and bring them down to the forearm, giving you a better sword wielding pose. And the head is on a ball joint. It looks down better than it can look up. The arms have a butterfly joint because I think that's part of the signature pose from Cybertron, that when the swords will come out, he jut forward. You do have the outward movement, that bicep swivel. The fists can even rotate if you want to get a little action going on like that. Uh, Again, you can, you know, bend the arms up how you see fit. We saw the waist articulation. You saw the hip articulation. Nice over 90-degree knee bend. And of course, there is ankle pivot. So, yeah, like I said, this is, for those of us who really dug Cybertron, this is a figure we've been waiting for. And I was concerned they wouldn't do it right, but they did. This is fantastic. There is a minor quibbles aside, like there is a little bit of looseness of joints. This is the figure. Oh, and by the way, on the head, if I can bring that in a little, Starscream does have that smug little look on its face. So yeah, this was the Starscream, by the way, that was the bad guy. There was no redeeming qualities, no heroics, not a whiny little puke. This was one that actually achieved some form of conquest. I mean, it ultimately was destroyed, defeated, got its butt kicked by Primus. But yeah, so absolutely fantastic. Really not much more to say right now. So I think what we'll do is we'll pause and we will come back with my final. I'm not going to bore you with some long winded conclusion. You obviously can tell, as I've said at the beginning, this is an early contender for Figure of the Year. It's fantastic. It takes that original transformation and modernizes it, makes it more interesting and enjoyable. Overall, just a fantastic piece. Now, here's the kicker. As of this recording, March 14th, 2024, this figure, as well as the rest of Wave 2, have not been fully revealed or announced by Hasbro. There are no pre orders, there are no solicitations. Images have leaked out, official pictures have maybe been sort of released, but there's no official announcements. And so, and the kicker is, Command Store only had Starscream, Silverbolt, the Rock Helicopter, and Sandstorm. So they didn't even have the full wave yet. Don't know why. That always kind of annoys me, but small potatoes. Unfortunately, they're sold out of everything but the Rock Helicopter and Sandstorm. Maybe they have Starscream. I'm not sure. So keep an eye out for maybe a restock, or keep an eye out for other retailers getting an early stock in. Early stock is different, by the way, from stolen product. I just want to make that clear. But yeah, fantastic figure. Highly recommended. And if you like this review, I mentioned the liking, commenting, and subscribing, but please also consider joining my Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. Because of that, I don't offer any thrill, tiers, special incentives. All it is a way for you to help me, help you, to help me, help you, keep the channel going, the infrastructure, and bring figures like Cybertron Starscream to you. But as I always say, if you can't spend $1 a month, $12 a year, uh, your views are more than thanks enough. You guys have been with me for over 10 years, and I absolutely appreciate it. So, once again, for Cybertron Starscream, this is your old pal Chuck, and I will see you next time.